Hi, and welcome to Discover Oklahoma. I'm Lauren Nelson.
And I'm Dean O'Lally. Today we're coming to you from the Old Plantation Restaurant here in Medicine Park.
This historic cobblestone building dates back to the early 1900s. And inside, a delicious selection for Oklahoma-inspired meals are served up 7 days a week. The same family also owns the Plantation Inn, a great place to stay in this picturesque little mountain town in southwestern Oklahoma. We'll show you around throughout the show.
But first we want to take you to a place to visit if you happen to make your way down to this part of our great state.
That's right. Let's head to the Comanche National Museum and Cultural Center in Lawton. The Comanche tribe is a vibrant, thriving tribe, and the Comanche National Museum and Cultural Center in Lawton shares their important history with visitors.
This is an important place for the Comanche tribe because for so many years, the Comanche's history has been told from a non-native perspective. And so this is the tribe's opportunity to finally have their say, to tell their story their way.
In the gallery, you will find beautiful works of art by Comanche artists and information about the tribe.
When you first come into the museum, the first part of the museum will be the history. You're going to find panel information about, who the Comanches were, where the tribe came from, where the tribe originated from, the buffalo culture. When you get towards the middle, that's what we consider our exhibit space, and then the middle exhibit space is where we rotate whatever it is that we're featuring for that particular time. We like to change out our rotating exhibits a couple times a year, so that way when you come back, you'll see something new every time.
There are several special pieces that will catch your eye when you visit. One of them is Irving the buffalo.
The first thing that most people are wowed by when they walk through the door is Irving the buffalo. And he is on loan to us from the Red Earth Museum, our award-winning buffalo hunting game. So when visitors come in, they can try their hands at buffalo hunting. It's a video game that has been created here by the museum staff, and it has won an award for it. We also have the opportunity for our visitors to try on the robe to see what it felt like to wear one of those things. It's quite heavy, and it really brings the history to life when you have this interactive, this hands-on that you can touch and feel and experience Comanche culture.
You'll also see a piece by actor Johnny Depp.
A few years back, there was a movie called The Lone Ranger, and Johnny Depp played Tonto in The Lone Ranger. He, at that time, just developed a relationship with some of the tribal members that helped him develop that role. And as a gift back to the nation, he painted them a portrait that has been now hangs in our gallery. And if you look at it, you can see it's actually a mesh of different faces, Jesus Christ, Chief Quanah Parker, and Johnny Depp.
Permanent exhibits include a history of the Comanche code talkers and a wonderful exhibit on the Native American church. But there is always something new to see here as well.
We have a Comanche art collection, fine art collection, that is over 500 pieces at this point. And we believe this is the largest Comanche fine art collection in the world. And so with a collection that large, we're able to rotate pieces in and out of our gallery. And so at any given time, you'll see different pieces when you come into the gallery. You might see something from, Quanah Parker Burgess or his brother Nakona, Tim Sawpitty, any of the Nevacoyas.
Plan your visit to the Comanche National Museum and Cultural Center to take in beautiful Native American art and take away a new knowledge and understanding of the Comanche tribe.
Our mission at this museum is to educate the public about Comanche fine art history, culture, tradition. And if one person can walk out of here knowing something that they didn't know when they came in, then we've fulfilled our mission.
You'll find the Comanche National Museum and Cultural Center at 701 Northwest Ferris Avenue. They're open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. and Saturday from 10 to 2, closed on Sunday. Admission is always free and they welcome tour groups. They just ask that you call ahead for a group tour.
And as you know, we're not very far at all from the Wichita Wildlife Refuge. That's a very popular destination in southwest Oklahoma.
And in northeast Oklahoma, it's the love of animals that might catch your eye.
Photojournalist Casey Kennedy is going to take us to Bernice Nature Center at Grand Lake State Park.
We were very lucky to have been able to have this nature center here on Grand Lake. It was constructed a little over 13 years, so it's still very much a big surprise to people. There are not only live animals, but that we actually have the mammals here as well. They're also very surprised to know that they can meet and greet several of our animal ambassadors while here.
Hi guys, welcome to the Nature Center.
What's really amazing about this facility is being so close to Route 66. We get travelers from all over the world. We have RV and tent camping here at Grand Lake State Park's Bernice area. We have 33 RV sites with 50 and 30 amp service. They are semi-improved, so we have a centrally located dump station, and we have lots of tent camping. They say that we can have 200 tents here primitively camping at one time. We do have nature trails. We have a 66-acre wildlife refuge with over a mile of paved trails. And the significance of the animals that we have here are that they are our animal ambassadors. Some of the animals were placed with us, as far as our coyote and our raccoon, by the wildlife department. The raccoon was a non-releasable blind animal, and the coyote was an illegal seizure. So those animals are actually our animal ambassadors to help tell the story, to hopefully never have another animal have to endure the life of those guys. The raccoon, we hope that people will understand that you do not need to take home an orphan animal and actually keep it as a pet. So that animal was not released due to his blindness, and our mission with him is to actually make sure that we don't have people taking home baby wildlife to keep for pets, because they make really terrible pets and it's actually illegal in the state of Oklahoma. A lot of kids have never been able to have a live animal in their homes, so coming here and getting to meet those animals firsthand is very exciting for the children.
The Bernice Nature Center at Grand Lake is open 7 days a week, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Wednesday through Sunday, and 8 a.m. to noon on Monday and Tuesday. And if you're an animal fan, you'll want to pick up a copy of the current issue of Oklahoma Today magazine. The issue is dedicated to Oklahoma animals. Find it on newsstands now or subscribe at oklahomatoday.com.
Coming up on Discover Oklahoma.
Science stores are very rare across the country and around the world, and we're happy to be one of the very few.
The Smart Shop in the heart of Tulsa. Plus, we're exploring the beauty of the Chickasaw National Recreation Area.
Coconut cream pie, man. Sometimes we eat that first instead of dinner because it's so good.
And the spot where dessert is so good you might just skip the full meal. It's all coming up right here on Discover Oklahoma.
In the land of wonder and awe, you won't believe you see what you saw. Where there's something to do for young and for old, where stories are written and then they're retold. Visit travelok.com today. Come see for yourself and come out to play.
Welcome back to Discover Oklahoma, coming to you from the Old Plantation Restaurant in Medicine Park. Lots of people think of this area as a summer getaway, but it's also a great place to visit in the fall.
And another can't-miss destination has to be, especially as we go into the autumn months, is the Chickasaw National Recreation Area in Sulphur. Right now, Jennifer Reynolds is going to take us there.
On the days we visited Chickasaw National Recreation Area in Sulphur, nature decked out the skies for us. But even this splendor is just a sideshow to what has drawn humankind here down through the ages.
For over 7,000 years, mankind's been coming and using this water.
Bracingly cold and clear as glass, some mineralized but mostly sweet, the water boils out of the upthrust remnants of an ancient seabed in the millions of gallons each day.
Well, this is Antelope Springs, and as you can see, the water is flowing right out from the base of the rocks right there. You know, water essentially means life, and these waters flowing year-round in those cold 62 to 64 degrees year-round. You can imagine how important a permanent source of water was like that.
This geologic legacy was inherited by the Chickasaws and Choctaws after their removal to Oklahoma. They prized this bounty greatly and turned the springs over to the National Park Service to make certain these wholesome waters and their sublime setting would always be accessible to all. What a gift. More than 1 million people from around the world visit each year, Some still come to taste the beneficial waters, but many more simply drink them up with their senses. Even the sound is healing. When I was a girl, this was still Platte National Park, the smallest in the park system, the 7th oldest, and the only national park in our state. In its early years, Platte boasted higher attendance than either Yellowstone or Yosemite. Beloved but lacking in grandeur, it was combined with the newly built Arbuckle Recreation Area in the 70s to create the current 10,000-acre park, which now offers boating on Lake of the Arbuckles, picnicking, 6 campgrounds with 400 campsites, 20 miles of recreational trails, and free admission. Keep your eyes open. Deer are everywhere, watching you, watching them. And winter is actually a great time to visit. The park's a little quieter and the wildlife more visible. We found Austin and Mary Solenberg of Lawton savoring a peaceful morning by Lake of the Arbuckles. They earned a little rest today after hiking a good part of the Chickasaw trails yesterday, which they say are the most well-maintained they've seen.
We climbed Bromine Mountain yesterday and got up to the viewpoint and looked out from there and sat there for a while and just kind of took it all in.
It was magical, but it was a lot of work.
Mary Solenberg says accessibility, which again was the goal of the tribes from the outset, is still what makes this park so magical.
You know, I think about people who might be in a wheelchair or who might have like some type of disability, and I feel like those people could even access the areas, which is phenomenal.
The Veterans Lake Trail is completely wheelchair and stroller accessible, and it is just the place to finish off your visit to the park, walking quietly or happily settled onto one of the many resting places along the trail, where you can imbibe a most intoxicating nightcap as evening settles in over one of Oklahoma's loveliest natural treasures. At the Chickasaw National Recreation Area, I'm Jennifer Reynolds for Discover Oklahoma.
The Chickasaw National Recreation Area is part of the National Park Service. It's located just south of the town of Sulphur. You can find out about fees for camping and other guidelines for visiting the park on our website, travelok.com. Just search Chickasaw National Recreation Area.
That really is the perfect place to go and take in some of the natural beauty of our state.
True, but if you're interested in maybe investigating the science part of the state, we actually have an idea for you. Right now, Julie Chen is going to take us to the Stemcell Science Shop in Tulsa.
At the Stemcell Science Shop, you'll find microscopes, meteorites, moon dust, and more. This is a dinosaur tooth?
This is a Spinosaurus tooth. So it was a dinosaur that lived about 100 million years ago. So this thing probably ripped into some other dinosaurs to eat them.
Terry Mudge is the owner and head scientist here. Opening Stemcell was a bit of an experiment. You see, there's really nothing like it anywhere.
Science stores are very rare across the country and around the world, and we're happy to be one of the very few, and we think we're doing it better than anyone else.
Here you'll find a cool one-of-a-kind collection for all ages.
It's a science shop, but it's not just any particular field of science. It's science for everybody, so no matter what you're interested in, there's something here for you.
There's professional equipment, spacesuits, natural specimens, even stuff for science buffs.
Some of our favorite things are in these vials. So we've got Civil War bullets, which are a technological advancement because they were the first bullets that were actually bullet-shaped like we know now.
It's definitely like the most unique place to shop that I can think of in Tulsa.
Customer favorites include charts, blood typing kits, and Oklahoma Rose Rock.
It's barite. It's left over from when there was a sea covering the middle of the country. Mostly central Oklahoma is where they formed. Whenever those seawaters evaporated, the sand crystallized into these barite roses. And so we've got those in the shop all the time. They're popular with tourists.
Terry has carefully inspected, curated, and validated Stemcell's entire collection.
We're very particular about what we allow in our shop. And so everything in here is genuine, the real deal. We have our authentication on everything to back it up.
Not only do they have lab coats, but there's a working science lab inside Stemcell. Time it just right, and you just might see the resident scientists inside. It's here artist Tyler Thrasher uses science to grow crystal art.
He's amassed quite a following doing this because it's really amazing stuff, and we're proud to have him as part of our little science nook here in Tulsa.
The store also sells subscription boxes packed with all things science. They ship about 500 a month.
You can buy a single month subscription, or you can get a year-long annual subscription that will get you a box every month for a year at a discounted rate. Or you can even explore past boxes. We have some collections of like items, like an entirely fossil box or entirely space-related box, and it's become really popular.
Stemcell Science Shop, a place for curious minds to explore.
We just try to provide stuff for the nerds of the country.
In Tulsa, I'm Julie Chin, discovering Oklahoma.
The Stemcell Science Shop is located at 2415 East Admiral Boulevard in the historic Kendall Whittier area of Tulsa. They're open Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 6 p.m., Saturday, 10 a.m. to 7, and Sunday, 12 to 5. You can also check out the shop online at stemcelltulsa.com.
Coming up on Discover Oklahoma.
So if you shop here, you're not just keeping it local, you are providing for artists to make a living in this state.
The historic art center that's become a central Oklahoma tradition.
I want them to be full as a tick, you know, and I want them to be pleased with everything.
And it doesn't get much better than that. The dinner worth the drive when Discover Oklahoma continues.
Maybe it's time to take in the view and discover yourself in the land of what's new. Here, history happens in the blink of an eye, and learning is fun. You can even ask why. At travelok.com, find even more. Come see for yourself and then go explore.
Welcome back to the Old Plantation Restaurant in Medicine Park. This historic building is home to some of the best meals in the southwest Oklahoma area. And there's an historic building in Norman that brings in lots of visitors every year.
Quinn Tran is going to show us around the Firehouse Art Center.
This is where art comes alive 6 days a week.
Many of the designs, I think, are more cutting edge.
The Norman Firehouse Art Center has a gallery and gift shop that features the work of hundreds of local artists. The artwork is diverse, from pottery, paintings, to jewelry and more. Every piece is made by hand, unique and one of a kind.
I'm always interested in what new things people bring in. Every year it changes just a little bit. Our range of scarves and fabrics are also quite amazing, and people come in to really feel in touch. So if you shop here, you're not just keeping it local, you are providing for artists to make a living in this state. So you're supporting the arts just by shopping here.
Located off of Flood Avenue in central Norman, the Firehouse Art Center is nestled in a neighborhood right by a park, just blocks away from the University of Oklahoma. It's the perfect location that for many years now has attracted people to art.
If you grew up here, chances are you took classes as a child.
Douglas Shaw Elder is executive director of the Firehouse Art Center. He says it was started by 3 local women in the early 1970s. It's more than a place showcasing the work of artists. The Firehouse Art Center offers programs for children, adults, veterans, and the elderly.
When people come here and take classes, they're looking for something, they're happy, but our healing studio, for many of them, it's the only time they get out the whole week. This is the place where they truly feel a part of our community. At all levels, I feel creativity and the arts contribute to our overall well-being.
Spend a few hours at the Firehouse Art Center. It's hard not to be inspired by the different art forms.
If we approach life as in a sense of discovery, where everything is unique and you're looking, how is this made? How is this attached? Why would somebody think or conceive of such a thing? That's really what I would like when people come in, to open their mind and their horizons to what art could bring to their life.
For nearly 50 years, the Firehouse Art Center has helped thousands of people discover their talents and a new passion for the arts. In Norman, Oklahoma, Quinn Tran, Discover Oklahoma.
The Firehouse Art Center is located at 444 South Flood in Norman. They're open 9:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Monday through Friday and 10 to 4 on Saturdays. They're closed on Sundays. Check out their website at normanfirehouse.com.
Up next on Discover Oklahoma.
Our fried chicken is that, it's talked about all over the country. It's really good chicken.
We visit the Route 66 restaurant that has folks from all over stopping to sample the chicken and so much more when Discover Oklahoma continues.
Want to discover even more about the show? Go online and watch Discover Oklahoma anywhere, anytime. Catch up on missed episodes, track down interesting locations, and submit your own story ideas. Start exploring today at discoveroklahomatv.com.
We've had a fabulous time today here at the Old Plantation Restaurant in Medicine Park.
And if you jump on I-44 from here and head to the northeast, you'll actually run into another incredible restaurant. It is my pleasure to tell you all about Dee's Specialty House in Stroud. Dee's Specialty House and Catering has been around for approximately 20 years. This place is very special for a number of reasons. The first being Diana Stovall, the owner-operator's mom. She is the pie, dessert, everything lady on that stuff. When we try to help her, we have to, it's got to be her. It is her recipes, and it is her way.
Everything is good, and her mom makes the best pies there is. Coconut cream pie, man. Sometimes we eat that first instead of dinner because it's so good, but she can make pie.
Oh yeah, the pie. Yeah, that's a bonus, isn't it? Homemade crust. Dee's mom makes all these every day. They're amazing.
You get the idea. The pies and Diana's mom are indeed amazing. There are too many reasons really to mention why Dee's Specialty House and Catering are in fact so special. So for now, I'll stick with the top one or two. And the big reason is whether you eat at the restaurant or eat the food catered by Dee's Specialty House, you will eat homemade, tasty, filling, and delicious food, period. I asked Diana, the owner, what are the top 2 or 3 items they are known for.
I would say the chicken fried steak is really, it's hard to say a number one because the catfish is right up there with it. But as far as like so many caterings, we've done thousands of chicken fried steaks that go out the door, and they choose that. And our fried chicken is that, it's talked about all over the country. It's really good chicken.
The fact is Dee's Specialty House has a large menu plus a big buffet. It's a lot of food and it's all prepared very, very well.
All of our food, we have our buffet and we have the roast beef and the catfish and the fried chicken and all these different things.
I loved their onion rings. Their boneless chicken strips were full flavored and their burgers were really, really good. But remember, they have food here at the restaurant, but they also cater several events.
When I am catering weddings and stuff, I do a bunch of the fruit and cheese trays, the dinner roll trays, the pinwheel trays, veggie trays. It's all on our menu. It's on our website. And that's very popular. That's really popular.
Instead of me going on and on about how wonderful their food is, I will just let a few of their loyal customers tell you.
It's just home cooking. Everything you have is delicious. Absolutely.
And we really enjoy it. The food is great here. I've been eating here or eating at Dee's between here and her home since she started this business for like 10 years now.
Food here is delicious. It's just about the best buffet food I've ever had. And I haven't lived in Stroud very long, and this was one of the first places that was suggested to me, and I'm very thankful it was.
Homemade, it's wonderful. Everything from the menu items to the buffet, nothing lets you down. Everything from hamburgers to a bowl of beans and cornbread, marvelous.
Well, my favorite food is everything. Everything I've ever ordered here is absolutely wonderful. It's all homemade, it's all fresh, it's just amazing.
Diana describes Dee's Specialty House as having a very homey atmosphere with a very good country blend, and when you leave here...
I want them to be full as a tick, and I want them to be pleased with everything.
Dee's Specialty House is open for lunch only, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. You'll find them at 507 West 4th Street in Stroud. You can contact them for catering services or to pick up casseroles. A huge thank you to our friends here at the Old Plantation Restaurant in Medicine Park for hosting us this week. There's no doubt a meal here is definitely worth the drive, and if you want to stay overnight, check out the 20-room Plantation Inn. Everything is located just outside the entrance of the Wichita Wildlife Refuge. Makes for a great Oklahoma getaway.
And coming up next week on Discover Oklahoma, they're coming from all over the country to sample the Oklahoma wine at this Tulsa location. We'll take you there.
And everything Okie under one roof. We'll show you where to shop if you're ready to show off your Sooner State pride. Next week right here on Discover Oklahoma.
So until next time, remember,
there's always something to discover in Oklahoma.